All right, we're back. I feel like it's hot for both of us. Here in California, it's ridiculously warm, and Philippines is always warm, but I'm struggling.
It's
You're used to
it's
this.
raining.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's raining.
it's raining every day in here. So
I love it.
yeah.
Well, hey, we're back for another video. This one we wanted to talk about just because you and I have both, started Amazon brands, managed and grown Amazon brands, but we've also worked at agencies over the years. We've worked with freelancers. And so today we wanted to talk about what the crucial roles are that you actually need to think about and hire for your Amazon business. So, Arvin, how you doing? And yeah, we'll dive in.
Yeah, I'm doing fantastic. So yeah, as I said, every day it's raining in here, so I'm mostly just at home. So
Yeah,
not
nice.
going out that much.
Just home recording YouTube videos. Well, I think to jump into this is going to be part one of three. We're going to do another two videos kind of related to this topic about pros and cons of kind of all these different options and where to hire people. But I
Mm-hmm.
think in terms of kind of crucial roles, to me, the overview is you really need to have people on the operations side within your Amazon business and then people on kind of the PPC side. And then I guess the third category, which is, something we won't talk about as much today, but is all the other stuff outside of kind of the Amazon work ecosystem. There's obviously a lot of other pieces, like if you have someone that's doing Google ads, TikTok ads, all that those kind of things. But is there anything else you want to add to that, just from a high level overview of what types of roles to consider?
Yeah, well, obviously, Amazon sellers they start hiring people after they already launched their products, like usually. So for managing their day-to-day operations, managing their PPC, well, they will probably start looking for a personal assistant to manage their day-to-day,
Mm.
perhaps.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
those
there's
are
a
the
lot
things
of
to.
pieces. So I think let's start with, kind of on the operations side. In terms of
Mm-hmm,
operations, because operations, the reason a lot of us start Amazon businesses is because it's changed over the years, but definitely for the facts that, a lot of times you see YouTube videos or gurus that talk about it being a passive business. It's definitely not passive. But I think the idea with Amazon is you can leverage a lot of things in terms of using FBA and using kind of their ecosystem that already has customers. But as your
mm-hmm.
team, as you grow on Amazon and maybe as your catalog grows, that's when you start maybe having problems or the work becomes too big. And so just to focus in on the operation side, what are the things operationally that kind of need to be covered by an Amazon seller to make sure that their accounts are in good standing?
Yeah, by the way, your audio, I'm not sure it's a bit on and off, but yeah, for the operation side, usually like because Amazon is sometimes very inconsistent, right? So the thing is like whatever policy they have in the past will then be changed in maybe the following month. So you need to have someone who's very knowledgeable of how to manage, even aware of the ins and outs of the Amazon help pages when it comes to what are the requirements, what are the guidelines, because Amazon suddenly will just roll out a new policy. Just recently, they also have launched some updates on the what you call it, like some style guidelines and some attributes that they are adding on every subcategory. So yeah, in that aspect, for the operation side, you need to have someone who's knowledgeable on how to manage the FBA, know and understand the back end of the catalog, know how to troubleshoot, and know how the Amazon support works, so that if there's something urgent that is happening on your account, maybe a listing that got suspended, they know how to reach out to Amazon support. Because if they don't know how that works, they probably just will end up having this email exchange for days and weeks having no resolution.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, that.
yeah, within operations, maybe at first you get a generalist on your team, like someone, if you have a small catalog or you're doing like lower revenue numbers, you don't necessarily need multiple people right away. It's maybe you're doing it yourself, but then your first hire is on the operations side, someone who's kind of a generalist. And then
Mm-hmm,
then you graduate to having some maybe specialized roles, and those are normally going to be one person or just someone that's going to be able to cover catalog, knows catalog in depth, which is like very
mm-hmm,
important for obviously fixing listings, uploading new listings, refreshing listings. Very common issues like, updating content, and so knowledge of flat files, parent-child variations. Then you have someone probably on more of like the, I'd say, account
admin.
health. account health and casework, which casework is obviously relevant to all kind of pieces of it, but someone that's really knowledgeable with account health, you start to get more account health issues as you scale. And then you
Yeah.
could potentially have someone, I'd say, that's kind of, like you were just kind of alluding to, admin slash, I would say, inventory management is a big one. And that might fall under maybe a catalog person. But if you're starting to get pretty sizable in scale, you're eventually probably going to get to the point where you need like more of a proper demand forecasting kind of analyst. Is that kind of accurate for you?
Yeah, like it's usually for the admin role, these are usually the kind of small stuff that you can hand over or to transfer to someone that maybe a virtual assistant, because this may be some small stuff, but actually, these are very time consuming, like responding to customers, doing some little research about the product. So yeah, this admin person, even though they're doing the small stuff, the small tasks, they are saving you a lot of time for you to focus on your business.
Yep, love it. And I think the even there's obviously a lot more caveats to this. Like having in addition to like I'd say the next tier is where you go even hyper specialization, where maybe you have like a flat file specialist, then you have like a designer, or a designer, an account health specialist, a case support, so like I think that it's really like a good framework for it is like you start maybe you and your co-founder doing all this stuff, then you get maybe a generalist as stage two. Stage three, you get like version one of your specialists, which is kind of like the operations for catalog, operations for account health, operations for support tickets and admin.
Mhm.
And then maybe then you niche down even more, like a true designer, a true like flat file expert, so on and so forth. Would you think that's a pretty good framework for it?
Yeah, I would say so. Because if you really want to grow your business, you don't need to just make investment of your inventory. You need to make investment on people as well who will help you grow. Because you cannot, I mean, some people can do it by themselves, but most of us cannot do it just by ourselves. So we need help, and these people, if you invest to them, they will also be loyal to you and help you grow your business.
Yeah.
So,
And then I think just to touch on the advertising side, advertising is obviously a whole different beast, but I think the same kind of framework applies. Like, at the beginning, maybe you can do it yourself, phase one, you or your co-founder or whatever. Phase two is
mhm,
you have a general PPC person. And then you kind of get into like the bigger tiers where it's like, hey, maybe you're a huge brand, and that's where we're talking like a Hims or an Onnit or what are some other big brands? I don't any big brand, L'Oreal Paris, anything big you can think of where they probably have multiple PPC individuals that are supporting them. And maybe each one of those individuals handles just this very small, like part of the catalog. And that's like where their focus is. And the reason you need these different tiers is like it gets so complex the bigger you get. And so you really need to start having specialists who are like extremely good at what they do at every given
mhm.
tier. And I think that's kind of at least the mental model that I have for it when I'm thinking about, an Amazon business and building out a team. Is there anything else you want to add though to that?
Oh yeah, I mean, just talking about PPC, you cannot just hire someone who's a good analyst or who understand the numbers or how the math works. You need to have someone with Amazon experience, because Amazon's algorithm work differently sometimes. So if
Yeah.
they understand that, they can help you yeah, grow your business. Because yeah, you cannot just hire someone randomly, because especially like anyone can sell themselves really good, right? I can claim that I'm an expert at this. Totally I'm not. But yeah, so that's the only thing I really want to add there. Well, you have to make sure that the person you're hiring for this role is very knowledgeable.
Yep. Cool. So, and just to give a little sneak peek, like because I think our next video is going to be about this topic, but in terms of different types of ways to hire, really in summarizing that, it's you can hire these people in-house, like you bring on an employee or a person that's kind of like a subcontractor, but is more or
Hmm.
less acting almost as if an employee would. So part-time, full-time, you can bring on a freelancer, or you can bring on or a team of freelancers that maybe fulfill different capacities, or you bring on outside agencies. There's pros and cons to each one of those, and that's what our next video is going to talk about. So um yeah, so those are kind of, I guess, the frameworks for thinking about, different people that need to be on your team. Any kind of final parting words you want to add to that? Otherwise, we'll dive into our next video on pros and cons of each of the different ways to hire.
Yeah, let's talk about it on the next video.
All right. Cool. If anyone has any questions, let us know down below in the comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you can get updates on those other videos as we post those as well. All right. See you soon.
See ya.